Hi, I'm Paul. Welcome to my messy workshop. Today I'm going to do just a short video on the different push blocks and push sticks that I have in my shop. Push sticks and push blocks are really important on almost any power tool with a spinning blade. I use them on my table saw, I use them on my jointer, I use them on my router table. They're a fantastic safety accessory. I'd like to say I use them all the time, but old habits are hard to break. I forget to use them from time to time, but I do my best, and I'd say I use them probably 99% of the time. So let me show you what I have in my shop and why I like each particular type. The first kind of push stick that I'm sure is in everybody's workshop is one like this. It usually comes as an accessory to a new saw. They come as part of a saw accessory kit, and to tell you the truth, I don't even know why I have one in my shop. I dislike it that much, and let me show you why. If you're going to use that push stick for ripping, say you're going to rip this board, what happens is this blade is spinning in this direction, which means that the back of the blade, when it comes this way, it's going to force the board up like that. So what happens, this push stick is at the back of the board. There's not much area right here to hold that board down. So basically what you're doing is just pushing that board through. When this part of the board gets to this part of the blade, and the blade is spinning this way, it has a tendency to lift that board up, and it can produce a really violent kickback. Because what you've done now is you're raising the board here, you've got it pushed down here, and it can come right back like that. That is why I don't like this kind of push stick. For years, I used a push stick quite a lot like this one. This is just made out of a piece of dimensional lumber. It's cut on the bandsaw, rounded over to make it nice, and it's attached with a screw to the back of a piece of 2x4. What I like about this, and also what I usually do is take a little piece of hardwood or a piece of masonite or something and make just a little shoe that sticks down here to grab onto the end of a board. What I like about this is when you're using it, you're pushing down on your board and you're pushing it forward. That board has a lot of support to hold it down and lessen kickback. Like I say, I used this particular style for a long time, and I really liked it, and because this piece here is sacrificial. Once it gets chewed up, I take a screw out of here, reuse the handle, throw this piece of wood away, and start all over. From there, I graduated to this push stick. I found this design online somewhere and printed out a PDF file. Then I made a hardboard template, and I could mass produce these things like crazy. It's a piece of 3/4 inch plywood. It has a notch cut in the bottom to help push my board. It's long enough to give support through the cut and past the blade. Again, as that blade's coming around, this keeps that wood down. That's a very important thing. Anyway, I used this for a long time. They'd get chewed up on the bottom, I'd throw them away and make another one. Like I say, once you got the template, you can make these things one right after another. All you need is some scrap 3/4 inch plywood. After I'd cut it out on the scroll saw, I'd take it over to the router jig, round over the edges, and I had a nice fresh push stick. From there, I graduated to my absolutely favorite type of push stick. These are the Grr-ripper, and I started out with one of them. I liked it so much that I bought a second one. What's nice about having two of them is if you have a long board, you can follow it through the cut and have good support all the way through the cut. The side piece right here is removable by taking out these two screws, or it's adjustable so that if you are on the edge of a board, you can use that to support the outside of the cut to keep your gripper stable. There's also a spot on the back where you can put a piece of sacrificial wood to grab onto the end of the board as you push it through. Like I said, this is my favorite push stick now. I use them, well, I like to say I use them all the time, but in reality, I use them most of the time. I still find myself from time to time, if I have enough room between the blade and the rip fence, of putting my hand in there, and it's a hard habit to break. Another thing that the gripper is good for is pushing stock through a jointer or holding pieces on my router table as I route them so I don't have to get my hand near that spinning bit. Another kind of push block that a lot of people have in their shop are these. Usually they come with a jointer as part of an accessory kit, or you can buy them separate. They have a foam bottom, and they work best on the jointer for pushing wood through the jointer. I have used them on the table saw if I had a big piece of wood and I had enough room between the blade and the fence to where this would pass through. I've used these. I took one of them, and on the back of it I just took a piece of hardwood, I drilled a hole, and I put a piece on there that hangs down just a little bit so that I can grab the back piece or the back edge of a piece of lumber as I'm pushing it through the jointer or through the table saw. One thing I forgot to mention about the gripper is on the bottom of the gripper there are different pads, and these are adjustable so that you can make them you can put this center one in any spot you want for whatever kind of room you have between your rip fence and your blade. As you can see in this one, there's a cut down the center of it. That's because I forgot to set it, and I actually cut it with the blade of my table saw. Luckily that wasn't my hand. That's all the push sticks I have in my shop. Like I say, this one is the worst one, and it's going in the recycle bin. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little informative video. Like I say, I like the gripper the best. It isn't an advertisement for the gripper. I don't get paid for using the gripper. I had to buy it myself, and they're not cheap. But I think all around the gripper is the best push block that I have in my shop. My ones that I made myself before I bought the gripper, they work fine. There's nothing wrong with them. But like I say, I hope you enjoyed this little video. If you would, I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe to my channel or share it with your friends if you think somebody else might be interested in it. You can give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. If you'd like, leave a comment. I try and return an answer to all my comments. And if you'd like to email me, my email address is right here. It's paulsmessyworkshop@gmail.com. And thanks for watching my video.